Thank you very much, Jussi, and thank you, Timo, for joining me today here and joining us, taking time out of your busy agenda. So, as Jussi has introduced, Timo is here, represent as CEO of OP in Financial Group. And you are a pretty unique animal, I think, in Finland, because it's a bank insurer, but a cooperative bank insurer. And I have understood that you service roughly half of the Finnish population with your products. So out of curiosity, what is, your success story? What is the product that really helps you, get your customer base? Is there one, or is it the approach? Very curious to learn from you.
Yeah, we have OP Financial Group. We have a long history in this country, especially from banking side, established already more than 120 years ago. And in 2005, we acquired the biggest non-life insurance company in this country during that time, named Pohjola Non-Life. And it has been our subsidiary since 2005. And what has been a reason for our success, or what is back to this story, there are many reasons. We have cooperative background, and we are nowadays owned by 2.1 million Finns, and we have 5.6 million inhabitants in this country. And we have developed loyalty programs, which means that when you are using our banking or our insurance services, you are getting special bonuses, and those bonuses you can pay different banking and insurance fees. It has helping us in cross-selling. But already in 2005, when we acquired Pohjola Non-Life, we put a lot of focus cross-selling. And during that time, Pohjola Non-Life's market share of the Finnish non-life insurance market was roughly 26%. Nowadays, our market share is 33%. It tells that it has gone well. What are key products in this story? Of course, home insurances, health insurances, and this kind of things for private customers, for households. But of course, we have had a cross-selling between customers who are SMEs and large corporates, and it's working same way there, but there we haven't any loyalty programs. And of course, digitalization has had a key role in this development. For example, 10 years ago, if I look at claims, roughly 10% of claims came via digitalized channels, and nowadays the level is roughly 70%. These kind of things are there, and nowadays, of course, we try to keep our market leader positions in banking and insurance, and I think that we have really good possibilities for that.
We have a lot of regulators and supervisors in the audience, and when they hear cross-selling, normally I can almost feel eyebrows raising, But this is an example where, cross-selling is sometimes seen critical because it is felt that the industry takes advantage of cross-selling techniques to their own benefit. But what you are saying is you are passing on the benefits with your loyalty and bonus programs.
Yes, that's the key. And of course, you have to remember that there are totally different regulation in banking and insurance side, non-life, life insurance side. And of course, it means that we have to put a lot of focus and resources for this kind of things. And we are running those subsidiaries separately, totally separately. I'm personally the chairperson of our non-life subsidiary, as well as our corporate banking subsidiary. And this retail banking is in roughly 100 cooperative banks, which are member banks in this group. And in banking side, we have similar structure as Rabobank in the Netherlands has had earlier, which means that we have joint and several liability among those member banks. It means that from customers' point of view, from credit investors' point of view, from rating agencies' point of view, we are like a one bank.
Okay. And I'm also intrigued by your point on, how you use digital channels and how the use has increased. Would you say this is part of Also, of course, the success story that I think Finland has in terms of, advancing education, especially also in the area of digital. Does that help you, or have you found as a company a genius way to engage with your clients?
Of course, it has had a very, very big impact to our business. And one key issue is that we have created to our customers mobile solution, OP Mobile. And it's solution that there our customers, they can use banking and insurance services. They can make, for example, claims there and in a non-life side. And nowadays the situation is that we have 1.6 million active users of this OP Mobile. And 5 years ago we had 800,000, now 1.6 million active users. And those active users, they are logging in roughly 60 million times per month to this application, 700 million times per year. And it means that this digitalization is really strongly in our everyday business many ways. And it's helping, of course, our customers, and that's really important.
Well, it clearly is accepted by the customer base.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, they love it. That's it.
Good for you. At European level, we have currently a lot of discussions around the retail investment strategy. And also Capital Markets Union is the key topic, I guess, also for the next Commission. And one of the challenges that I think we are all thinking about is how can we convince more people to save, but also not just to save, but also to invest. In Insurance Europe, we have done a survey. We are at the 3rd iteration. And that survey has basically brought about that 30% of the population is not saving enough or not saving at all for retirement. Any ideas how we can get to, to convince people to think more ahead and save more, invest more?
I think that this basic principle to encourage consumers to save more to other instruments like mutual funds, equities, and so it's really good. But when I look at these Commission's targets, that they are looking for low pricing, good profits, low risk, and wide accessibility at the same time. It's unrealistic some way. And because when someone is thinking about that he or she wants to make investments, they are looking at what is possible return and what is the risk level, try to understand that, how easy it is to make this kind of instruments. This cost of products is only one issue in investment decision. And that's, for me, a little bit difficult to understand that only this kind of way to approach this issue, to create a retail investment strategy and focus on low price for products, investment products, that's a little bit wrong. And I see that this issue is really important. And we have put a lot of focus, for example, to activate our customers to make regular investments, for example, to mutual funds, into mutual funds. And we have seen very good development there. Nowadays we have 650,000 customers who are every month investing small money into, for example, into mutual funds. And usually the most popular mutual fund among them is this kind of global index fund, which is investing in big companies all over the world. And this average money that they are putting into this mutual fund, it's roughly between 70 to 80 euros per month. And these kind of instruments are really suitable for customers, private retail customers who want to make regularly investments. And there, of course, one issue is what is the price level of this product, this mutual fund, but even more important is that they can make it very easily and they can understand what is risk-reward with this kind of instrument.
And would you say that the customer journey is easy today?
It is very easy. Again, they can make it in mobile app, and that's it. And they can follow it, they can stop it, they can start again. That's it, their decision.
And how do you get around all the regulatory obligations? Because we are looking at that. We have a lot of texts that apply to the sales process.
Of course, it means some kind of bureaucracy more in those processes. But we, of course, try to handle it totally so that it would be as easy as possible for those customers. But one very important issue which is coming from this retail investment strategy that I like as well, like regulators, I think. So it's that it has to be very transparent from customers' point of view, what is this cost of those products that they are investing in. And that's really important. And I see that it's really important that we whole time develop ways that customers can understand also those costs, total costs, which are linked to this investment.
But when you look from a purely insurance perspective,
yes.
We are frequently complaining that there's maybe too much focus on cost and too little on the added value.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
Okay.
I fully agree. And that's the question of that, because at the end of the day, from consumers, from an investor's point of view, the most important issue, what is the net return at the end of the day for this investment?
Let's move to the issue of data, because you have mentioned already you have this successful app, the development in your company that has helped attract a larger customer base. And I think we all agree here in the room that data is key when you run an insurance business. What we are seeing now, certainly also in the regulatory area, nervousness around the use of data by insurers. Also, there is increasingly debate around restrictions of data use by insurers. We had, for example, discussions at Brussels level around the EU health data space, where insurers were not provided access to secondary data, which doesn't really help when you want to develop innovative products. We had discussions around, in the AI Act, how should insurers be considered? And for some products, we are considered high risks. We have also discussions around the right to be forgotten, where civil society engages very strongly and is trying also to get optimal treatment for customers, I think, which we all support, but in a way that would disallow the insurance sector to use data to the best extent possible for the product development and ultimately also for the benefit of customers. So how do you see this issue, data access, data use? Are you concerned? What is your take on that?
Yeah, I see that this is a really relevant, really important issue just today, in many ways. And of course, when I look at Pohjola Non-Life, we utilize data heavily for better customer understanding, for managing their risks. That's one issue. And also providing fair and accurate pricing, automated and effortless processes, especially for claim handling, and also when we are developing better products to our customers. And that's a really important issue. And today, and even more in the near future, ESG data and reporting scope is more and more important, and it's also growing some way in insurance business generally. And when we are using this data, it's really important that in all cases we are using it in a responsible way. It isn't enough that we are following only rules which are in regulation in this field. But we think that when you want to be a trusted company, you have to be also in this way very transparent. And one answer for this question in our side has been that already 2018, first time, we published this kind of annual data balance sheet. What does it mean? It means that we are telling very easily or very transparent, in a transparent way, that how we are using this data, what kind of data we have of our customers, and how we are using it. And that also we made in 2018, or we published responsible principles how we are using data in our companies. And it means that it tells that what are those key principles, and that's key message. And this is the way that I really recommend everyone, all companies to do, because it means that our industry is more trusted after these kind of things.
It's almost like a data tracker?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And we updated, by the way, these principles just in this year, because this new world with Gen AI, for example, it means that you have to be even more transparent with these kind of issues.
So, information towards your customer and going the extra mile?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And, but of course we are a little bit worried about this regulation that how we can use this data so that it would be the best way from customers' point of view. And it's question about secondary data, for example, and things like that. And that's really good point. And I hope that it would be more discussion about this issue in regulatory level, but also in supervisory level.
Yeah, I think it's also my personal experience. We are currently engaging a lot also with cancer patient organizations, and you realize the more you talk, you really increase the understanding. I'm not saying we are getting to the solutions already, but just we are getting much closer to understand what is being done with the data, how it's being used, and hopefully engaging in this dialogue with the users can help us also in the future to maintain data access and use it to the best of not just the industry, but also their customers and society overall.
Yeah, and one really important issue just today is when we think about this kind of Gen AI, generative AI revolution, and what does it mean? And in this field, it's really important that we can really use this data so that it's best for customers. And one issue is that with data and with Gen AI, we can provide more personalized products, personalized services to our customers. And of course, at the end of the day, it's really good thing from customers' point of view. But now we are just in the middle of this kind of development that it's difficult to say how well we can do it when we are looking at what is coming from the regulation side.
But is there also a risk that the more you go granular, it could also lead to problems, exclusion?
Of course, but we need also this data and information when we are thinking about our underwriting, how we are managing those risks. But still I see more opportunities than threats there when I'm looking at this field.
Good, and I think on that one we really also need to engage with the supervisors and regulatory communities to explain how we go about it.
Yes, and also it's important to try to understand where are the best ways to use Gen AI. And of course, claim handling is good area. We can get more productivity there, and of course, at the end of the day, it's good for customers.
Faster.
And it's one area. Different call centers, customer service centers, their customers can get easier and more quickly help. That's as well very important. And these kind of things are relevant.
I'm mindful of time, and we absolutely want to cover 2 more issues. So regulation. I think looking back at the last 5 years, we have seen a multiplying effect when it comes to regulation. It will all come your way in the next couple of years because there was a lot of decision making now in the last 5 years, but implementation stage will follow now. Your take on, the regulatory development, are you concerned about the current level of complexity, overlap? What is your view?
I'm worried about all of that. Yeah. And what is the reason of that? When we think about history since 2008, after global financial crisis, we have seen huge regulatory tsunami. First in banking, a little bit later on as well in insurance. And there are a lot of overlapping as well. And it's coming whole time new regulation. It means new bureaucracy, new reporting requirements to insurance companies, for example. And that is, and you have to add on this also supervisory expectations, which are also increasing whole time. And sometimes when I'm looking at those supervisory expectations, I see that I have a question in my mind that is there any regulatory base for all of them? But still, from companies' point of view, who are supervised by supervisory authority, this is problematic situation. And therefore, I really like ideas that I have understood that the next EU Commission, hopefully, they will have plan to put more focus on how we can stop this increase of regulation and at the same time reduce amount of reporting requirements to corporates at least by 25%. I really like this idea because we have to think about also competitiveness of financial industry in Europe and how we can provide at enough low prices, with enough low prices, good services to our customers.
And certainly, I'm pretty sure you're not the only one hoping for that, to manage expectations. Certainly, we are not asking for deregulation. What we are asking, I guess, is can we have a critical look at of what is strictly necessary? Also, we have now developed a huge European rule book. Can we have a critical look at what is still existing at national level, what was maybe already there before? And is that all strictly necessary still?
These
are the issues.
Yes, that's as well a very important issue to look at whole time, so that when we are making a European-wide regulation and what is the role with that, or what and go through at the same time that what kind of other regulation national level we have in those items.
Yeah. And now we come already to the close of, it goes like a whirlwind, but we want to spend the last few minutes on discussing the European election. So 1 week from now, Europe is invited to go and vote for the European Parliament. Can I just start first by saying I would encourage everybody in the room to absolutely do it. This is the most important election that we will have. I'm looking at Urs, it's a Swiss colleague, and he says, I would love to. But still, for those of you who can, please go. This has such a tremendous impact on all our life. A lot is decided in Brussels. If you could, make a wish, or maybe 3 wishes, what would be your top 3 points, your top 3 wishes to the incoming Commission President, to the Parliament's President, Council? What is on your wish list?
Yeah, this is really good question. I had possibility at the beginning of this week to spend 2 days in Brussels. I had 11 meetings there, and one of those meetings was that I had a meeting with EU Parliament President Mrs. Roberta Metsola, and it was interesting to have this kind of to listen her insights, and when I think what are the most important issues that I expect to be there in EU's agenda for the next 5 years, I think that this security issue is on a very high level. And also from, for example, insurance industry's point of view, it's important. Because uncertainty among our potential customers, it means always also lower growth, lower demand for our products also. And when we think about this issue, it's important that we have even more focus on this issue. And especially in time when Ukraine war is continuing. And it can continue. It can continue for a long time, and therefore it's important. This is good for the whole society, for the whole European Union to put focus here. I fully agree with that. But another issue that I understood that would be there very strongly in the next Commission's agenda is competitiveness. And competitiveness, it's even more important for our business because we need economic growth. And it's really good that now in Eurozone, in European Union, we have a situation that also politicians has realized that we have too much regulation, and we are trying to whole time solve different problems with regulation, and therefore the idea that no more regulation, if it's coming nothing new, something should cut as well, and this thing that reduce amount of different reporting requirements to corporates, it's as well very important. And it's important to understand that our main competitors are outside Europe, not here in Europe. And that's a really important issue. And of course, the third one is that it's important that worldwide we are telling and supporting our core values, rule of law and things like that in Europe. Those three things are important because I see that at the end of the day, it means this kind of things means better business environment for also for insurance industry.
I think you just found the perfect wish list, and certainly the last one, I'm pretty sure everybody in this room would sign up to in this irrespective of the fact whether you are a regulator, a supervisor, or from the industry or consumer groups. And by the way, we have a lot of young people here also today. Let's hope rule of law will be a very strong element moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank my interview partner, Timo Ritakallio, sorry, in the usual way, and very happy to have had this discussion.
Thank you very much.